Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Melanin Margin, the weekly chat show where conversations about race are never off the table. We're your hosts, Quaviondre Williams.
And Daquon Wilson.
So let's get into this week's conversation. What's hot on the table this week? Now, Emmy-nominated actress and comedian Leslie Jones recently shared her thoughts about the 4th of July in a video where she said, quote, I would say happy 4th of July, but it's not really a happy 4th of July, is it? Because 4th of July is supposed to stand for independence, but this ain't the land of the free. Y'all took away women's rights. Y'all are trying to take away voters' rights. And it's hard to say happy 4th of July because it feels like we're going back to slavery, end quote. However, her comments were not well received by the likes of Jason Whitlock and Shamika Michelle, who shared their thoughts on the talk show Fearless with Jason Whitlock, where Michelle stated, quote, where else, if not America, can you resemble Great Ape and have the success that Leslie Jones has had? If we went back to slavery, just like myself, Leslie, you would be in the field, and as a 6-foot woman that's actually built like a man, you would probably be working alongside the ox. I am just sick of people like Leslie Jones pushing this oppressive mind state that, oh, we don't have rights, end quote. What are your thoughts, Daquon, about Miss Shamika Michelle insulting Leslie Jones's appearance?
Let me just put the glasses on because it's time to read. I, I think the question of the hour is who is Shamika Michelle? Because no, seriously, let's answer the question who is Shamika Michelle? Because comments on appearance, which is the low hanging fruit when despicable members of the human race know that they can't compete where they don't compare, tells us everything we need to know about her. We have Leslie Jordan, who is a literal icon. She has, hosted the Olympics. She's gone on to be in so many movies, get so many accolades. Leslie Jones has a resume that is real long.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Michelle, Shamika, your resume consists of being a guest on a talk show because your name is not in Fearless with Jason Whitlock. You also have a book with no major nor minor accolades. And you have the occasional think piece where you spread your delusional drivel. So it's clear that your callous comments are just a way to leech off the success and clout that you will never have. You're intimidated by a Black woman who's beautiful both inside and out, who was able to make it using her own talent and amazing personality, neither of which you possess and therefore can do. And let me remind you that the same people that you tap dance for don't care about you. They never have, and they never will. So, with all that being said, I think that this is a grade A textbook example of a pick me because there's no reason that Shamika Michelle needed to resort to racist caricatures of comments, the literal same things that would be thrown against her in an instant if she ever stopped dancing for the Republican Party.
Bitch, you said that. And now that Daquan has put out the library glass, I think I need to put mine on as well. Girl, what you said wasn't a read or shade. This was just you spewing hate at a person that you are nowhere near on the same level. You thought you ate, but your plate is still very much so full. But since you thought you could use your library card, even though it was declined due to lack of class and skill set, let me show you what real reading looks like. So I don't know What part of Leslie Jones's success made you feel so insecure and so hateful that you felt the need to resort to ad hominem fallacies to get your point across? But it's giving playground bully. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that Leslie Jones was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for her work in Saturday Night Live, and your only claim to fame at the moment is being a low-budget Candace Owens. Maybe it's
Not
the
low
fact
budget.
that in 2017, Leslie Jones was named one of the most 100 people in the world that are most influential by Time Magazine only a year after your book was published. And 6 years later, those 43 reviews are hanging on strong, aren't they, girl? Or, Daquon, maybe it's the fact that she realized that her job description on her Twitter bio is actually misspelled. For you, Shamika, the word commentator should be spelled Sellout.
Ooh.
Now, girl, did you see what I did with those reads? I never had to once insult your appearance, compare you to a fucking slave or animal. It's because, unlike you, I can dislike a person who is the same race as me without having to reinforce racism in the process. One thing I learned in therapy is that oftentimes when people like you tear down others in such a visceral, nasty way, it's because they've already said those very same things to themselves in the mirror or have been called worse by someone else. It's called projection, sweetheart. And I'm so sorry to whoever hurt you so badly that the only way that you can feel better about yourself is by spreading that same pain that you endured to others. But the truth is, in the words of the Black mother of Hollywood, Jennifer Lewis, if you sit and shit long enough, it stops smelling. So come the fuck out of there while you still can. Because they've brainwashed you into believing that if you align yourself with white supremacist ideology, that this will somehow offer you a protection against it. But we're here to tell you that in the eyes of the white supremacists that you align yourself with and that you co-sign with your insults against Leslie Jones, you will always be a Black woman, which means they will always see you as beneath them. Now, I don't know, you probably won't hear this or see this, but I do hope that the next time a Black person sees you, they take out a picture with the flash on just to see if you're in the sunken place. Get out, Shamika. Go ahead and get out of there. But Daquon, I want to pass it back to you.
And that is how you clear.
But Daquon, I gotta ask you, bitch, like, why do you think the pick-me's are so vocal with their hate nowadays, bitch? What is going on? What's in the fucking water, bitch?
I think we are getting into a place where American society is becoming so polarized that people feel like they need to pick sides. There was a time when so many of the hateful rhetoric that people spew now, they did in private back then. But then they saw a leader who did it all in public and had nothing done to him. And they felt emboldened by it. They felt empowered by having a white supremacist in one of the biggest positions in this country. And so now we see a lot more people being like, pick me, because we are slowly but surely approaching a peak when it comes to all of the racial tension in this country. We've seen time and time again how it ebbs and flows, and there's these moments of big racial tension, and we're hitting another boiling point soon. So I think people are trying to pick their side. They're trying to get on the side that they want to be on. And frankly, it's annoying to deal with. Like, we know that they're never actually going to be picked because white supremacists are not looking for anybody else other than other white, cis, straight men, white supremacists like themselves. So that's all I have to say about that, because honestly, it's giving nothing. It's really giving nothing.
It's strange to me how, you know, people don't recognize that when you give attention to hate like Candace Owens and Christian Walker and stuff like that, that these people remain relevant. you know. And what I've had to learn, especially on my TikTok journey and Instagrams and stuff like that, is that these people strive sometimes specifically to get the hate or anger of the Black community, or to get the anger of, you know, a marginalized community, because they know that that will translate into money. Because
Right.
if you are duetting a video of a person, you're giving them clout. If you are commenting on that video, you're giving them clout. If you are saving a video to respond to later, you are giving them clout. So it's such a fine line you have to walk with responding to hate, because oftentimes people use that as their currency in the world. There are so many people, I won't name any names, but you know what I'm talking about, who are famous for literally just appropriating Black culture and being culture vultures. That's their whole brand. And they are famous for it. They are making millions of dollars from it. And it just frustrates me so badly that we still give these people platforms. We still give these people voices. Like I said before, I wouldn't know who the Shamika person was had she not said what she said. And she did that specifically to get the white people who are racist, the white people who are like, oh, you're a good Black, you're a good Black person. You know what I'm saying? This very that kind of energy. And that's exactly what she's looking for. She knows that we're not her target audience. She knows that the Black community is not her target audience, or at least not as a whole. She's looking at specific peoples, the coonery, the Uncle Ruckuses in the community, to be on her side and to get all the white people to be like, oh yeah, she's the good Black. We'll keep her around for now. For now. Right. And that for now is a lot louder than people think.
Oh, 1000%. We live in a time where, especially with social media, how it is now, everybody is gunning for that engagement. Regardless of how you get it, engagement is engagement. Mm-hmm. It kind of goes back to the older notions of all press is press. There's no such thing as bad press. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if your name is in headlines, if your name is being talked about all throughout social media, if you're constantly being tagged in certain things, that gives you engagement. That gives you a platform. It gives you even more of a platform than you would have normally, because people who wouldn't like the type of things that you preach are now being fed whatever hateful rhetoric that you are spewing. And so it's really important, like you said, that we don't really engage these people that much or give them more of a platform that they need. Of course, it's important to, kind of dismiss hate and, keep the conversation going so that people don't see things like this and think that it's right. But there's a fine line between, that occasional, okay, I have time today, I'm going to clap back, and consistently clapping back time after time after time. And frankly, it's the times when you don't respond that are the most powerful. Like, I really remember when Christian Walker walked up to Kehlani at a Starbucks and they were just unamused. They were just smiling, just like looking unbothered, and giving Christian Walker nothing. And that is true power. When you have the power to make people mad and you can just stay unbothered.
I think, and I completely agree. I think that there is a fine line. I want to make sure that y'all know too. Also, this is the only time, one and only time we ever gonna talk about Shamika Michelle on this show.
Right. I'm going back to not knowing who she is.
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is anymore. But what are we talking about again? Anyway, but like, it frustrates me oftentimes too, that like when you see people like this, once again, there's a reason why I have this tattoo on my forearm, where it's a Maya Angelou quote that says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And I got that tattooed on me specifically because of the fact that when a person like a Shamika or like a Christian Walker or like a Candace Owens, when they say something that you know for a fact that they are aware that what they're saying is bullshit, they are aware that what they're saying is inflammatory. See, it's one thing to make a mistake. It's one thing to make a mistake. It's one thing to say something accidental, a slip of the tongue or something like that. It's another thing to sit down and know. If you look at the video of her talking about this and when she said it, you could tell she was reading off of something. So she not only thought this out, read it over and was like, yeah, I ate that up, because she knew what she was doing. She wanted the attention and she got it. And that's why I say with these type of people, when they show you for the first time who they are, let it go. You said what you said, move forward, because these people are only going to keep doing shit. And I know for a fact that this woman right here is going to do something else. It's happening again somewhere else, because she wants that attention. She wants that negativity. She feeds that there are people like her who thrive in that. And I realized something too when I was also watching all this stuff unfold about this. She released a statement on her YouTube telling that she dusted off after years of disuse. She's got her yeah, I know, right? And she put her book that's been out of commission for 6 years just about back in her bio and stuff like that too. And there was so many things. So I could tell that she did this specifically to get that attention to the show Fearless and to get herself and her brand known, because now, regardless of how we feel about what she said, we know who she is.
Right.
Well, at least for now. At least for now. I don't know who that is after I say that after this episode, but
right. Once this recording stops, don't know.
We're back to not knowing who she is. But I think that it's just the facts are like she did this specifically to get her name out. And I think that is what you have to recognize with these type of people, is that the only mission is to piss people off. That's it.
Exactly. And I also want to, before we move on, because we can't just talk about this Black woman without talking about the Black man who created this platform and enabled it, because we are equal opportunity readers. Everybody can catch this smoke. Because Mr. Jason Whitlock, you knew exactly what you were doing. You set it up by being like, I'm not going to talk about appearance just so your little co-host could do it. And I just want you to know that that is the weakest thing that you can possibly do. You are letting a Black woman take the fall for you. Take the fall for all of the thoughts that you wanted to say, but you were like, you know what? I can't handle that criticism. So I'm going to let her take it. And frankly, you are a disgusting human being. Point blank, period.
Evil men succeed when good men do nothing.
Say that again.
Evil men and evil women succeed when good men and good women do nothing. When people sit on the sidelines and watch people spew evil and spew hate and spew nastiness and just go, that is just as bad as you saying exactly what they said.